Bro, Twitch needs to stop with this stupid ad schedule thing. What's up, Blades of Doom? How are you? Newly minted father. Finally it updates. Holy moly. And it's still wrong. Sorry, I have to do this every single stream. Okay, 3 minutes every 60 minutes. Yep. I want it 3 minutes every hour. Why is it showing it 1.5 minutes every 10 or 30 minutes? There we go. Jeez Louise, can it just set it correctly the first time? Goodness sakes. There we go. Okay. We're about ready. I just got to get some windows pulled up. Tired and a little overwhelmed. Oh, I can imagine. Either way, though, super cool. Okay, I think I'm about ready. Nope. Not quite. Classic. Here we go. And okay. We are here and ready to go. Haven't done any school. Don't know how to fit it in my schedule. Yeah, true. I'm either at work, watching baby, or sleeping. Yep. How long is it until they start sleeping through the night usually? Oh boy, more inventory stuff. It's kind of fine though. I don't really care. We're gonna figure this out eventually. Might have to do two loops because our system here doesn't quite work in every scenario. In our inventory UI, actually our inventory slot, what do we have? Set item. Okay. Should I even deal with displaying anything yet? Maybe not. RCB, what is up? How are you? No idea when they start sleeping through the night. He kind of just sleeps all the time right now. Okay. Not too bad. Okay, we can pick up all the items. Hey. Our inventory is blank. But if we go here, we have 421, which is okay. Let's change these names or these things because it's 42 right there. Okay, added to empty slot. try this again. Gotta hydrate. And a daddy chill, but I didn't hear it. Classic. Body hurts, I need a chiropractor. Yeah. I have had some annoying health issues and pain recently as well. Okay, added to empty slot. Added to existing, 1, 2, 3. Then 1, empty slot 1, existing, empty slot 1. So what we want to do is figure out if I go to health potion resource. This is max stack count. Okay. Inventory item. Okay, we created a new class called item slot. So we have item, right? Which is our main resource. Item slot holds that resource and quantity. We have var quantity here. Let me put that up to 2 there. Or no, this gets reset, right? Yep. Okay. So this right here doesn't need to change. Quantity equals 1. What was it again? Ad break in 3 minutes. Just a heads up. Like a new back in general and new legs. Yep. Just give me a robot body or something. Hey, I mean, that's the whole deal with my game's lore is you're an elite soldier alien who's been given a robot body. And when you complete your mission, and only then can you get your organs back. Kind of just bounce on them if you hit them. So where was this getting set again? Okay, so we have inventory item. Is it in inventory item? Add item to inventory. Resource and quantity. So is it this quantity that's getting loaded? What happens if I do this? Okay, that no longer is the thing. Why is that no longer a thing? Oh, because we're not declaring the function here. We're actually calling it. I mean, I can just not worry about this weird stack thing and testing it, because really all I want to do is just test with a different quantity. If I go to my prototype and I click on one of these items, what does it have? Max stack count, quantity. Where's that coming from? It's coming from the scene, not the resource. Okay. So what happens if I go to item slot? Oh, we have inventory slot. And do... Okay, that breaks that. Dr. Cap, what is up? I need to figure out what the actual... Okay, the slot is, I believe, just the quantity that we need to store. In the item, we have the max stack count. Then, in our inventory item, we have this quantity of 1. That gets passed into here. We do our addition stuff. And then that just updates the slot quantity. Probably should have named them different, but because we have quantity and then slot quantity. Thought it was funny today when I saw a game jam that the theme was 1 inventory slot. That's not a bad idea. Got an ad starting soon, it says. Or maybe it's already running. I don't know. But so the thing that could change that we need to be careful for. Oh, ad break. It is running. Okay. Is this inventory item? So if I change that to 2, what happens here? I know this is an export and everything, but empty slot 1, empty slot 2. Okay, so it's still doing 1, and I assume that's because the base isn't being updated. Maybe it's these specifically. Quantity 1, okay. It's really annoying that these don't have their meshes. I should set that up to, let's actually just delete these. Then let's do a Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. So now we should have 10 quantity total. Let's see what happens when we pick them up. Really want to play more Game Jam games. Some of them are crazy cool. Yeah. I've never really even tried to play any Game Jam games. Added to empty slot 2. Ah, okay. So it doesn't update. So, maxed out a slot 3, added to empty slot 1. Perfect. So it is working. The overflow is working. Added to existing slot 3. Boom, added to empty slot 2. And maxed out slot 3, added to empty slot 1. So for anyone who doesn't know, the number after is the quantity, the stack size within the slot that it's adding to. So since I changed quantity on each one of these items to 2, it adds it to an empty slot in the inventory, and that slot has 2. Then it adds it when I pick up another one. It says maxed out slot, aka the slot that already has 2 in it, has a stack size of 3, right? It can only have 3, hold 3 in it. So it maxes that one out, fills it up to 3, and then adds to an empty slot, and that new slot has a quantity of 1. And then we add to existing slot, because adding 2 to 1 equals 3. We're fine. And then we add to a whole new empty slot with 2, max it out at 3, and add the overflow to a new empty slot. So this is very nice. Very, very nice. I'm down with this. That is working. There is an issue with drag and drop coming into play. Let's go back to inventory item. Let's reset this to 1. Because our loop does not take into account duplicate this a couple times again. Our loop does not take into account if there is a null space in the inventory, an empty slot, right after the slot that we just tried to fill up. So if we do have overflow, currently, if we do have overflow in this slot, so we try to fill up this slot, but it only has enough space for one item, and we have a stack of 2 that we're trying to add, or a quantity of 2. And then there's an empty slot here, and then another slot here that has the same item that has space for 2. So we've got one remainder that could go right there, but currently, because there's a null slot right here, our loop only will add to that null slot. If I tried... I wonder if I should try to do like a... Actually, I don't even know how I could do starter items. I'd have to figure out what maybe in our global we could add some items at a certain quantity to a certain index to like populate the inventory to start off. Because right now what we're doing, we add an item, we take the resource and that quantity, we loop through the slots. If we find one that's not empty and the resource ID matches the resource ID of the item we're trying to add, aka is it the same item? And is the stack full or not? Yeah, because if it is full, then we want to skip it. Then we check if it will fill up the slot, overflow it basically, overflow the stack. And if it is going to, then we grab the remainder and we put it in a new slot. Actually, wait, is that what we're doing? I mean, we are doing that. Remainder equals slot quantity plus quantity minus slot resource max stack count. Then we set quantity to equal remainder. I don't know if we're actually... I mean, this seemed to be working, but... Let me look through my own logic again. Classic. So if it is greater than the max stack, we set the remainder to be the remainder. We set that slot's quantity to max stack count. Then we set our quantity, which is right here. Ah, I see. We set this quantity to something. And then, if this has already ran its course, then it will run this. Having 2 loops is probably the way to go. I'm just trying to visualize how it will be. New Jank, the man. He could probably help me. So, here is, I'll show you current system. It's fairly similar, although like I said, I'm building it from very piece by piece. So I'm sort of using what you have, New Jank. This is your stuff here. I'm not doing things like stack count left and all that because I started out saying, oh, I'm not going to worry about stacks, and then I implemented them. But Bunny, what is up? And Shiloh. And Jared Luttrell. Unless that's one of you in Twitch, but sorry, Jared. YouTube is always delayed, so. And it's also harder for me to see it because it's kind of pushed off to the side on my vertical screen, so I only have so much space. My vertical screen is just not not an ideal setup. For overflowing your quantity between slots, you really need two loops as New Jank worked it. Any other route will have some unexpected behavior, probably. Yeah, I think so. So what are the two loops? We've got for every slot, basically. And slots is his inventory, right? And we called ours slots too. We just did an array of item slots. Check all slots for existing similar items. Okay. If slot is null, then we continue. If it matches and is stack full is false. So if there's a stack, a non-full stack. And then we just do stack count left. Remainder in an empty slot. Yes. Okay, well, let me look at the comments because I always... did you write this or is it example code? This is New Jank's code, actually. Which he hasn't... it's not fully built out yet. He's put a lot of stuff in place that would then be implemented. So it's nice to have some of that stuff to be able to see, like, oh, where would this go? So increase stack count takes in a number of items to add and returns the number of items that were not able to be added to the slot specifically. Okay. So stack count left. So let's say stack count is 10 right up here. We go through, we grab a slot that's, let's say, has one... wait, stack count left is basically the quantity of things that we're adding in, right? Yeah. So let's say there's a stack that has one space left. So now we are now at 9 stack count left. Am I thinking correctly, or is this doing something different? Adding as many items to this slot as possible and just updating the number of items we still need to add. Increase stack count. So slot.increase stack count. Let me see what this is doing. Is that in item slot? Yes, okay. Stack count plus amount. So however much is already in the slot. Yes. Starts out at, or defaults to 1. So if sum is greater than the max stack size, then we do our remainder stuff. Max stack size, and we do set stack count. Item data max stack, stack size, and then we return the remainder. Okay. Perfect. I remember he was going to write something up. Yep. Still okay, feeling a bit blah, but I'm alive. Yes, alive is good. Stack count left is the number of items that was not able to be added to the stack. Okay. What kind of variable is slot? So slot is our specific slot. So it's an item slot. We have a resource, which I'm doing it the same way. We have a resource called item slot here, class. Which is like literally every slot in the inventory. And then we run this slot.increase stack count. It's part of that. I should have known that was going to be in that file just by that, but you know me. Push into inventory when your item bar is full. Oh, here, let me... So you have a slot with a max of 10. It currently has 5 items in it. Try to add 10 items to the slot. Stack count left will be 5. And it already updates its own stack in this here. Yeah, in the increased stack count. Makes sense. Only took a month of being unemployed to finally want to touch code again. Back to the fun indeed. Custom class that just points to an item data and holds a stack count. Yeah. And Nujank, I tried like everything in my power to avoid. I don't really know why, just because I wanted to just use a resource. But the way that you're doing it is definitely better. Because I wanted to do everything just in the resource, but then you have to do, because resources are shared, then the quantity thing, you might be able to still math it. It's just that everything would have actually, I don't know if you could, because if you did stacks, then it still wouldn't work, I don't think. Because what if you had like five full stacks of one item and then a half-filled stack? And then you couldn't, yeah. It just wasn't going to work. Try increase stack count. Yeah. So difference between static definition data and dynamic instance data. Yes. Whoops. Item slot has self.item data, set item data. I should see how I'm doing it. So I guess really what I should work on now, let me pick something to implement next. Actually, no, really what I need to do is just finish implementing what I have, which is the two... Having this is just the way to go. It really is. I think I should do it exactly like this. This get slot at slots index. Oh, perfect. Yep, now we're cooking. Wait. This was in the inventory itself, which for us will be in our global. Your system is now beginning to make sense to my feeble mind. So I could do literally this. This could be also pretty nice. Since item data is static and never has to change, it makes more sense to separate that type of data out. Yes, that makes sense. 15 to 20 year period of waves of burnout is worth a month of no job. True. So, okay. Let me go back through this. Item data is static definition data. So data that doesn't ever change to the cost or the weight of an item, whereas item slot is its sort of dynamic data, stack count. Yes. So item slot, yeah. I could imagine it as it's the actual pockets in your coat. Like, you can fit 3 of these items in this slot because the size of the item is set within the item. That doesn't change. But yeah, that makes sense. New Jank wrote a whole API, yep. I do think you should follow his setup as much as possible just to make sure you understand what it's doing. Yes. Hard to be unemployed, especially when you feel like you have stuff to do or want to do. Yeah. I haven't been unemployed in a while, and hopefully not soon, unless I'm doing my own thing and somehow successful at it. But I've had some... It's more like I haven't really had that many unemployed periods. I've had self-employed periods, which have been like way worse to me. Because then I was my boss, and I am a terrible boss to myself. Hyper urgency to get a job, and then I put off doing important stuff that comes easier. Yeah. Just decided to change the team location. That sucks. It's the second time in 2 years. Otherwise, I hadn't been involuntary unemployed in 23 years. Dang. Okay. So we've added this get slot index. We could do the add and remove when we want. I mean, technically, this is our add item to inventory, whereas this is just our add items. So we have add items at. So this isn't currently being used, so I assume this is when we want to drag and drop that type of stuff. So I don't need to worry about that quite yet, right? Casper, what is up? Let me just do as closely as possible. So right now we have 4 index in slots size. Index might not be the best. Maybe we just do I. Because index is a real thing that we will need to do. Ignore that you just said index may not be the best. Don't we want index to be when we are referring to the actual index? Whereas I, isn't this referring to the actual thing within it? The item slot? Pocket analogy is really good. Yeah, kind of perfect for that. I mean, I guess I is index. True. This here is the actual index. Because we're doing it in slot size. It's that slots I is the thing. Okay. That makes sense. Don't have an inventory of items. You have an inventory of pockets. Each pocket represents an amount of items. Yes. So why is I bad practice? I am always explicit, which is important, but I is fair. At least everyone knows what I mean. Yeah, I'm not going to get confused by I specifically. So remember, you're more so interfacing with slots rather than items. Yes. And that's why I can call upon the slots quantity, or right now I have a var slot equals slot I, unless I have to set slot I. But I can do slots dot or slot dot quantity or slot dot resource and then get our max stack. But now let's do our max, our adjust. We're going to do what you did, New Jank, on the stack count thing. So, get slot at I is in there. So we're doing 4. Oh, let's do our var stack count left. Is stack count left is basically how many... Sorry, I might be... This is just how much we have left that we need to fit into our inventory. So it will get updated here to be like the remainder of the increased stack count that we just ran is now 3, and we're running it again. We're doing, it's an int, and it is quantity. Search for it later in the documentation. True. That is true. Mutating, decreasing. Yep. If at any point you want to jump in a call and have me explain something, just let me know. Will do, man. I'm going to try to fight my way through it first. But semi-lurking, messing with a private WoW server thing. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now we're doing our for loop, our first one. Var slot equals item slot, get slot at I. Is that basically doing what I'm doing here? Except for I can do it up here. Let's do that. Slot equals, oh, whoops. Then here, okay. So we have this, if it equals null, then we continue, because we're now not going to do our null check and everything within the same for loop. So we can just directly below this do, if it's null, we don't care. We're just trying to find stacks that already exist. Got this 100%. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, after like a week of... Has it been more than a week? Hopefully not more than a week of doing inventory. I better have learned something. Okay. Now I've got slots I resource ID, which I guess here I can just do slot. And I could do slot, although this might change. So let me just... Is stack full equals false? Okay, yep. Oh, slot dot is stack full. So let's do that. Because where is stack full? Do I need to pass? Okay, I can just call it. Oh, I have to do return. Oh, I am doing that. Okay. We could do. Is it not bool? Oh, it's not 2 dashes. Okay. And let's just explicitly say is false. Okay. Let's do slot there. Okay, now we can go back to our inventory. So, item data ID, which for us is resource. Okay, so we don't need to check if it's null, because we're already doing that there. So, if plus none of these are true if it's not null, or if it is null. So we could do slot.resource ID is equal to resource ID. This is probably not. It's not terrible. Stack count left equals this. So now we need to do our stack count stuff. I'm going to put this down here. Honestly, I'm going to comment this for now. So, slot.increase stack count. So this will be in our inventory or item slot again. So, increase slot optimizing to good job. I was going to suggest. Yep. Trying to get somewhat in the habit. Okay, so what it was basically checking if it is, whoops, let's go back to here. So we have, there's decrease stack count, okay. Increase stack count. I guess, yeah, I could just put in amount. That makes more sense. Amount is always going to be an int. Is this not correct? What am I doing wrong? Oh, because I don't have a return yet. Okay. So sum, which is an int, is stack count plus amount. So for me, that's quantity. Whoops. Var sum equals quantity plus amount. And then if sum is greater, are we just checking if sum is, yep, greater than, it's greater than resource dot max stack. Is it count? Is that what we're doing? Yes. A lot of different nomenclature that I'm using, which doesn't necessarily help me. But resource.max stack count. Resource maybe it's because of this here. Here, let me do this. Sum. And then stack count. Oh my goodness, the errors take away anything anyway, right? That you would normally have. Okay, whatever. We're not going to be returning sum. We're going to be returning remainder, but so I'll just do, let me just copy this and then make sure I understand it. What am I doing wrong here? If sum is greater than resource max stack count. Oh, set stack count. When there's errors, I just can't. Mount int. Stack count changed. Oh, okay. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? So resource not declared? Am I just spelling it wrong or something? I was just spelling it wrong. Goodness sakes. Yep, it's complaining way too much. Okay, we still have this, which is, needs to be blip. And then stack count. Oh, stack count is just our quantity. Then we need to omit this. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, down here. Jeez. See, I was just overwhelmed by all the red. Yep. Okay. All right, now, since I did a bunch of copy pasting, we now need to understand this. Remainder is the sum minus the stack size. Makes sense. We run set stack count, which grabs our max stack size, passes that in as the amount. The amount sets the quantity to an integer clamped at max stack size. Is there a reason why we're doing this? Amount 0 max stack size. Oh, does this mean we're just adding it to... We're adding it to the quantity, but not going above max stack size? So this could be like, stack size could be 10 and we're only adding 5 as a remainder. So we know to throw that in there. 0 is the least, and this is the most. Extra safety, yep. Okay. Elemental, what's up in the YouTube chat? How are you? Set stack count, doesn't know that check was already done. Yes. Min plus max, yep. Okay. Now we have this signal. Let me look and make sure I know where you're doing this signal. So this is within... This is declared there? Or no, this is item slot stack. Okay. This here is within the item slot. You know what? Let's throw that in there, even though I don't know if I'm going to be really using it quite yet. Might as well have it in there. So if anyone wants to listen for this, stack count, we can do quantity? Yes. Bunny with the hydrate. Never want to be able to set the stack count to 0, because then there's no stack, and don't want to set stack count to a value that's greater than the max stack size. Yep. You have a clamping to 0 instead of 1. Okay, so clamp. Technically, this would allow 0. It just wouldn't allow below 0. So if I just throw that to 1, oops, then that should be good. Ideally, you'd use refinement type for amount, requiring the integer passed in to be in the range 0 to max stack size. That type isn't possible in GD script. Typical problem with programming without refinement types, doing checks multiple times. They introduce their own pain points. Huh. Yeah. I don't know enough to really know whether or not I prefer one thing or another. Okay. Stack count changed. We probably do want, right, for rendering, like rendering the slot again. Because at this point, all we have to do is just reset that specific stack. Oh, wait. No, yeah. I think that's why you have 2 signals for it. Because then there's also item slot stack count changed. Index. Yeah. Perfect. So this would re-render that slot, basically. That's all it's being used for now. Yep. Well, this way, if you call set stack count 0, it will set your stack size to 1. I don't think you want this functionality. Well, we don't want it to ever be 0. Elemental. If it ever becomes 0, we need to just remove that slot data from the inventory. Because if it's ever 0, then that item needs to be used up fully and gone. Okay. I think I'm doing some signal routing going on. So item slot stack count changed is being listened for by the inventory, which just emits item slot stack count changed. Yeah. So your UI will listen to inventory.item slot stack changed and not the signal on item slot. Yes. That's kind of where I was thinking. It's like, okay. Now, is the stack count changed? You're saying that this... Are we connecting this anywhere? Oh, I see. Wait, am I doing this right? On item slot, stack count changed. We want to remove the slot if it's empty of items. If it's not empty, though, we want to signal out that the slot's stack count at index has changed. Do we want it to go to 0 then, actually? With that clamp, because maybe if we're doing this check, then maybe Elemental was right, because we do want it to become 0. Yeah. So Elemental, you were right. I thought we were just basically, I guess you just couldn't do a check to check if it was 0. Oh, whoops. Item slot. Nope. I need to be in my Godot. Yeah, because it needs to be able to get to 0 so then we can check if it's 0. Okay. I wrote the code and I couldn't even remember it. Don't feel bad. Yeah. I mean, this stuff is, I don't care what anyone says, inventory stuff is very confusing. Even if you know it. So me, someone who doesn't really know it. Okay. Let me think about my flow here. So inventory item. Nope. That's okay. In here, we're resetting that to, or we're setting this to now be stack count left. And we are we're maxing out whatever slot we're in. Perfect. And if I need to, I can test this by increasing my amounts on the items on the ground, like I was doing before. And it was working before with this. It's just, it wasn't going to do drag and drop very well. So let's get back to here and only build in kind of what we need as we need it. Swap item slots. This is cool. Yeah, this is what we're going to need. But not yet. I'm wondering if I should set up my signals now or not. It probably doesn't matter yet because we're not doing any UI yet. So, okay. So we have this, and then after this loop, then we do another loop, So basically, let me think if I'm figuring this right. We check for empty slots and we fill them all up first. If it's still bigger than 0, aka we still have items left to add in, then we start throwing them into null slots. Okay, perfect. And what's amazing is I could just read these comments that are right there. But no, I've got to make it harder for myself. Wait, not empty slots. Make sure that signal callback was getting connected. I haven't seen yet. Oh, connect right here in inventory UI. So slot stack count changed. Is this one being changed though? The other one, the regular stack count changed. Oh, connect right there. Okay. This is in the actual inventory. Then we call this function, which does this function call the other one? Yes, it does. Okay. And this is in the inventory. Let me just grab these real quick. Oh, wait, no. Can I just do this? Non-full slots, then empty slot. Yes, yes. Using it to view code, but not write your own Godot code. I think I'm a Godot editor purist. I think you should edit even things that are non-Godot in it. You have an inventory with 4 slots. In slot 2 and 4, there are potions. Potions can stack to 10. Slot 2 is 5. Slot 4 is 8. If you try and add 10 potions to the inventory, you'll find slot 2 and 4, put 5 and 2, 2 and 4, and then next loop, we find the first empty slot. Yes. Yeah. Maybe I might not have said it correctly, but that is my understanding of your two, of the 2 loops that are going on. I'm trying to think if I should even do add slot at and this connection stuff yet. I probably just shouldn't, and just continue on with my with this stuff first. Yeah. But they are connected in there. Better at reading code. Yep. Okay, so let me just I'll just put this commented out for now. So instead, what we can do is go back up to here and do our stuff. So stack count left is greater than 0. I'm going to grab this whole thing, but then go through it to make sure I understand it. Okay, there's no return on that because slots.size. Oh, okay. There is already a thing called I. Okay. If I just did this. Oh, it's because of tabbing. Jeez. Okay. Why did that? Goodness sakes. Okay, there we go. All right. Return stack count left. This needs to be back there. Here, let me get rid of the comments here because we already have them in the code, so we can look through them. Okay. So, go through all inventory slots. We get the current slot. Get slot. Yep. Slot is null. Count to add is integer. Let's read the comment here. We determine the number of items to add. Whoops. To add to the slot. We can get the min between the number of items we have left to add and the max stack size of the item we're adding to make sure if we have more items than max stack size, we still just add max stack size number of items to the slot. Okay. So if we have 5 max and the max stack size is 3, then however much we have, it will only add... Wait a second, let me think here. That just means that we're only adding 3 there, if that's our max stack size. A writing coder and not an explanationer. Leave as little room for ambiguity. I feel like I'm the final boss for that, though, because like there's so much explained here, but my brain will just filter out comments unless I force myself. So you will either add the total number of items attempting to be added or the max stack size. Okay. So count to add becomes one of those two numbers. Oh, I see. Duh. Because we're choosing the min of this, right? So does min just return the smallest out of these two numbers? The number of items is being added is less than max stack, then count to add is the number of items being added. Yes. Am I right in thinking that this min does that? Oh yeah, returns the minimum of given numerical values. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Whichever is less. Makes sense. Okay, so yeah, if you have more than a stack, it'll give the stack. If you have less than a stack, then it will give whatever you have. Then we add a new slot. At I. Do I have add slot at yet? I don't think so. We have get slot at, so we will need to add slot at. Let's also do this. Is it resource or is it... Do I have to do slot.resource? Yes. Right? Wait, no, this is just item data. Slot.resource. Okay. what is it called in your slot class? So we have item slot, and I've got resource, which is our item, and then quantity. Would you be able to generate loot boxes from code like this? Okay, slot.resource. Whereas this, yeah, so this is our resource. Oh my goodness, I'm probably not doing this right because it confused me just now, but whatever. Our resource is being pulled in from there, which is fine. Count to add. Now we just need add slot at I. Which add slot at I will do this. So let's check this and make sure we understand it. And then we take, let me just run through this so I understand it again. Stack count left now becomes less by the amount of count to add. So we just get whatever's left, run it again. If it's less than or equal to 0, then we break and we stop the loop. Perfect. If we have filled up the inventory and have no more room, we return the number of items we are not able to add. Okay. Okay, so add slot at index. So we grab the index and we get the item slot. Let me delete all of my old stuff because we don't need it. So item slot.new, we're passing in the things that we need there. And this is our slot that we're passing in. This is our index that we're passing in. So now we have if get slot at index does not equal null, then return false. If we already have a slot at this index, bail. We listen to the item slot for when, oh, we got an ad break. I didn't even realize. For when its count changes. So that's where we're doing this right here. On item, so we... I don't understand this. Whoops. Oh, function count. Ads are done. Okay. Doesn't do any database stuff, so not really to do loot boxes. You need some sort of item database and then some data that stores the loot tables and such. Okay. Polycarp, what is up? How are you? Add slot returns a bool based on whether or not... whether a slot was able to be added. So you could be extra safe and check that. Okay. Accounting for that in other places, but depending on how you extend the code, you may need to include that. The function inside the connect is a lambda. I do not know what a lambda is. I've heard it a couple times now, and I'm unfamiliar. On item slot stack count changed requires both the index and the count, but the stack count change signal doesn't pass the index. But we have the index that's passed into the add slot add. With the lambda, we can sort of stitch that together. It's a bit hard to explain in text. Okay. Func count, is that some sort of built-in thing? Assuming a bind would work too, but not sure exact order. Bind will handle binding arguments in the original argument. Okay. So this is looking for this. And in our item slot, we have stack count changed, and we have stack count changed emit quantity. So that is good. We just now need this, right? Can I? There we go. Jeez. Okay. And this is still in our inventory. On item slot stack count changed. Then we're doing our item slot stack count change.emit. Right. And there we're passing in our index and the count that it needs to change to. So I need to add that. Let's just put it here, and then let's connect it, which I assume it's connected up here. Let's also just put all of these up here because we're gonna need them. Okay, so now that we have this, we can go back down to here. Add slot at gets the index. And if it's not null, then we return. Yep. We connect this function, which then can call this here. I can understand what this is doing. I don't really know what the lambda is, but I understand what this is doing. So it's good enough for now. Slots at index equals item slot, which means, okay, because we're passing in that item. Then item slot emit added dot emit. We're doing that at that index in that slot. That will now update our UI again. And then we got remove slot at. Feel like I got a lot of copy pasting ahead of me, but I'm going to try to understand everything as it comes in because I don't want to. Okay, I already pasted this in before, so I can. I just want to make sure that I'm not just copy pasting because otherwise I'm not learning. Let me get my music going again. So, you know how you can pass a function callback into a function? So like on signal.connect on signal triggered. Yep. Function callbacks took me a while to grasp, and now that I got it, it seems simple. Well, it's sort of like that, but instead of defining a named function called onSignalChanged somewhere in the script, you can just define a nameless function within the parameter. Something I'm going to have to look up. Okay. Yeah, I mean... understanding these things for me takes a long time, but that's okay. Okay, so now we have remove items at. Oh, remove items at. This is remove slot at. So remove slot at takes that index. It checks if it's null, and if it is null, then we return false. So if it's already empty, Otherwise, we take that and we set it to null, and then we emit this here. So here we're checking if count is less than or equal to 0, remove slot at. Yep, then we run that and then we emit that. Okay, so this is just checking whether or not we need to remove it. Otherwise, we always emit this to update the UI. This I like a lot more. This is way better to just do things with the index and be like, hey, do this. Rather than like, here's my original inventory items. No. Slot. I guess I deleted a lot of it. But there was a bunch of stuff like update items. So we're not going to need to do like any of this. Because I think these were all set up via Signal before. Set empty. All of these things can go away too. I think. Maybe we don't worry about it yet. But I'm pretty sure a lot of these can go. I guess set item might still need to be there. But yeah, we won't worry about it. Don't get too bogged down. Easier to explain while showing. Okay. Yeah. Get it in like 30 seconds if you showed it. Anonymous functions, which might be easier to visualize. Went and got a drink. Did I miss anything? No. Just me, bouncing around. Okay. So we have remove slot at index. That's good to go. Okay, now we can go back up to our flow of what's going on. Which really, that's it for these loops. Let me see if things just work. Okay. Item inventory. Oh, do I have something trying to load a resource that isn't supposed to be there? Item inventory.gd can't open file. Where am I trying to open that? Let's see if it breaks. Invalid get index resource on base nil. Oh. Am I not supposed to do slot dot? No, it's just, no, it is supposed to be resource there, right? Because we're just grabbing the base resource since it is null. Or is that supposed to be if it's not equal null? Because we're doing it up here if it's... Yeah, I don't think we actually want to get the slot there, right? Because this is the second loop where we're looking for... we've already added or increased the existing stacks. So now we're looking for empty slots or null slots. I think that's it. I had set that to slot.resource, but I didn't realize that that was... Wait, okay, nope, we're still broken. Max stack size on base resource weapon. Ah. Nope, I need to do max, stack, size. These all need to be count because I'm dumb. I think it's count. I already set it to be different than... These are the things that I shouldn't be doing, but... Because in our item, I have max stack count, whereas you have max stack size. And I've already built it in, so it's whatever. Okay, I'll just need to remember that. Okay, now let's try it. Okay. Things don't break, but of course I forgot. All I can really do is I can't test if it's going in the correct spots. So maybe what I could do is maybe I could print slot dot quantity here. Just see what happens. RJL, what is up? Okay, I just picked up 6 things. 2, 3, 2, 3. Perfect. Is that... So that's happening when I do that after checks that there is... Okay, so I picked up 1, so it's not empty. And then I print the quantity the next time. Yeah, so that makes sense that it would be 2, 3, 2, 3. Because the first one would be this, and we don't have a print there. Okay, nice. So it is working. Yes, it is working. Because I could do... I could do a print quantity here, too. And then it should say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I could test it by changing the quantities here. Oh. Oh, wait. Nope. I can't do that there. I would have to do the print in add slot at now it should say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the prints. Trying to hook into the item slot added signal from your game class or something, or player script, to display these things. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me think. Hook into the item slot added signal from your game class. JD, what is up? How are you, man? So try to hook into these. In my player, do I have a reference to the inventory? So this is all within a auto load. So in the player, I can just reference it as global.slots. Yeah, and the UI doesn't have any sort of connection or anything yet. I wonder if maybe I could try to do that now. So, inventory UI. So I need to connect to these signals, right? This is the UI, and this is where you're doing it. Okay, so we have all three of these. Populate slot grid, inventory. Inventory is item inventory. So I do have a system of those already. I'm wondering if I need to change much of it or not. Is this in the init? Oh, this is in setup. Shoot, now I don't know. Pulled the UI stuff. No. So this is still old stuff. Ready should be fine. Yeah, we could just do ready for now. And I don't mind even keeping the old UI stuff to some extent. How do I... Actually, let's just go. Maybe I can just grab these three for now. Will they break? Yes. Item slot UI. So get slot UI at index. So I would need to add a lot of that stuff in too then. I mean, could I do this set item and set empty? These might be enough to get by for now because they're literally just running the set item. Where is it? Slot.set item and set empty. We have item slot. Oh, so okay, right here. So our set empty literally just sets everything to texture to null, the text to empty. Set item just grabs the okay, we're doing item equals new item dot quantity. We could just pass the resource, and then this would be, a lot of these would be maybe new item dot resource dot icon, and then this would just be item dot quantity. Okay, let me. Eventually, you'll probably have to do something similar to what I did so I can get stuff initialized in the correct order. UI must be initialized after inventory. Ah, okay. Probably be merged with it since it's not logic dependent. Yep. The way I'm doing it, I'm not saying this is, or there isn't a better way. I don't know what I was thinking with that method. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to just get it to do my thing. Inventory setup is an auto load, which will be initted before the UI. True. Yeah. Yeah, it is an auto load. Okay, so let's just try to do this. So in our inventory UI. Item added. So these will need to be global.inventory.find. So this needs to be slots. And this will not be item update. We're going to find the index. Oh wait, if we need to pass these in, then how do we do that again? How's the inventory coming along? Coming along a lot better now. Now that I've restarted it. Just create new methods. Okay, because we can still call set item and set empty. Just so I don't get errors there. Okay. Function inventory slot added. Function, and we're doing inventory slot removed. And then we're doing a stack count changed. Now, by the way, good to see you again, Dr. Ink. Appreciate you stopping by. So, we have these inventory slot scenes that we are instantiating, doing add child slot. If item does not equal null, then we set item, else set empty. Now, I think what I ended up doing was kind of blowing up our inventory slot. Oh, okay, not really. But we have set empty and set item. I'm wondering why they aren't being... Are they... Set slot index. We have like set slot index, which we don't need anymore. We have item, which I don't know if we need. I have to change the way you populate slot UIs, probably. Populate slot grid from repo. Okay. Because I do have inventory set up here. Oh, you know what? I think I'm just not running this. Like, if I do this, then what happens? It might break because I think I... Yeah. So it's global.slots. Boom. Okay. So we still have these. I just wasn't initiating them. So actually, yeah, I think we're kind of able to just do our set item. Let me try this. I guess the thing that I need to do is pass in the index that I'm adding to, right? and changing. Function is okay. I thought you were doing something else. Oh, are you talking about these ones? So I think... Oh, interesting. I think I might have... If you do a -1 on an array and try to find it, does it put it at the end of the array? Because I was having a bug where items were getting added to the end of my inventory. But it's neither here nor there. Yeah, hashtag is a comment. So the function that creates the slot UIs. Yep. Yeah, just the setup where it just adds a child, which is the slot scene. Then we set item if there is one there. Although I think if there was one there, this might not work, right? Set item. Or no, maybe it does. Yeah, it does. Because we're just passing that index in. So, in our... Like, let me just look for this. Index, we're passing in the index there. We're emitting the index and the count. So when it's emitted, can I just automatically do this and do something like, what was it? This. Whoops. And then pass in what we were passing in there, so index and count. And then do our something like this. I mean, honestly, I might be able to just do this. Comment this out. Instead of doing inventory find, we're doing slots index. And then doing a set item on it using... Oh, shoot, wait. Hit child, slot index, set item. We need the... wait, because we're just updating the count. So we would need a third one that just, instead of setting the item, it just updates the count. Used to // populate slot grid. So here's my line of thinking. I got to pass in what we're changing, right? So wouldn't we be passing that in? Does this even work? Okay, that doesn't. Okay, let me look at, so populate slot grid. Yeah, children, we queue free. This is our item slot UI. So for us, it's, yeah. Okay. We're instantiating slot container add child, set item slot, connect. Okay. Need to get the slot UI at index and then stack count label set stack count label. Yeah, for the other function. Enabled. Okay. So then our slot item is listening for that. Okay. Okay. So I can switch this into what I have. This is inventory UI still. So let's just do this then. Index and count. Slot UI, we have inventory slot, which is just a control. It's not its own specific thing. But then we have get slot UI, so we would need that. So for now, I could just do... oh, shoot, wait. Oh, I could just do... For now, let me try this. Is it get child? Okay. And then I could set this label within my slot. And I could do something like quantity dot text equals string str count. I think that logic makes sense. I do have a slot UI or inventory slot scene. It's not built out as much, I don't think, but LOL Snake, what's up? What are we making? Yeah, working on inventory. It's only been about 7 years since I started, but we are making progress. Just so you can see, what if I just do this and this for now? I'll just do this and this for now. So then I can show you the game, because for anyone who's new here and hasn't seen it, currently I can't pick anything up and attack because I am refactoring all of my inventory. I might be able to pick something up without it crashing. But this is the world that I'm building. I'm building all the assets and attempting to make some sort of an RPG, but struggling very hard on the systems. Although we are getting there with the help of people like Shiloh and Newjank. My several brain cells are coming together, working as one, united under a singular banner to understand how to make these things work. Let me try to pick something up. Hey, nice. Didn't break. Nothing happens in the inventory yet, but it will hopefully soon. Okay. Now, going back. So we have inventory slot. Item slot stack. What do I need here before this connect? Am I just connecting wrong? I always forget how to do... inventory. So I have to do global... because it's in my global class. Or thing. Ah, okay. Yep. It's just in the global script. So is it just global dot and then this because it's in that? Or is there some other way that we're doing it? Okay, yeah. Global dot signal name. Okay. Okay. So on stack changed, we do this. That I think is good. And it works, I believe, because we're just checking the grid container, getting the index, and changing the count. If we're creating one, creating a slot, we have slot on, yep, right here. I'll do this. Let's get rid of those because we're basically just going to try to use what you got. So we got another control, and then instead of get slot UI, we're just going to do currently the same thing there. If it's return, and we set item slot. Now, why is this now breaking? Eating pizza and the cheese coming off all in one bite. Yeah. So, oh, is it just because I'm going to clear this and then save again and see what pops up. So, identifier inventory slot stack count changed. Oh, is this just different? Did I accidentally delete part of that? I assume so. Somehow I or maybe I copied the wrong thing. I don't know. Things are happening. Okay. We will now add in the next bit, which is removed. Set item slot in slot, inventory slot. We now have set item slot. Okay, inventory. Oh, whoops. Global. No, inventory UI. We're passing in the item slot and the index. So in our slot, we do inventory slot here, set item slot, and instead we're doing index. Actually, sorry, this is, yep, index. So this is actually doing something. Oh, okay, we're just passing the index into there. So for here, all we need is the item slot in there. Okay, never mind. Yeah. I'm, so now here, we got to do resource, source, item quantity. Quantity doesn't need that, but we need all of these. Now let's just see if things work. If things work, I will be mind blown. Okay, it broke. Perfect. Effect. Oh. Dot resource effect. Then item effect. Okay. Okay, let's try it. The anticipation. Whoops. Oh my goodness, New Jank. You realize what this has done for me? It has given me new life. I'm a changed man. This is beautiful. Okay. None of these work yet. All right, now we're going to delete everything and go back to that tutorial and do it from the ground up. No, this is great. This is sick. Thank you very much, New Jank and Shiloh, as usual, for the immense help as I slowly go mad. Freedom, yes. A proper inventory has been built. I live to please, yes. It's kind of nice because now I understand it just enough to be able to fit it to the crappy stuff that I already had in here. That will work. Like, this stuff I'm down with. I'm fine with very basic, you know. We're just setting labels and stuff. But it's nice to know that that I do understand the system itself. Now, for things like removed, button pressed. Okay, that's usage. We have set empty, exited. So we don't have anything for the slots, buttons and stuff. We have pressed there. Okay, I guess that one's connected. Yeah. But we have things like use, drop, and assign, which are not set up yet. Use. In our player, do we have the item effect thing yet? Apply item effect. Right. We have this stuff. Let me just do this then. Just so then I can finally swing a sword again. Because I think I can. Okay, on use pressed. This isn't in there anymore. Let's I think I can disconnect. Go to method. Okay, it's not there. Nice. Disconnect. Then I can go like this. Connect. And I can do But we have to pass in what slot that's in, right? Whoops, global.playervar. I think it's that. Apply item effect item. Now, item is there. Item becomes the resource. I think we pass this in. Let's try it. See what happens. Use. Okay, we now have a weapon. It's not the correct one apparently, but it's there. If I go here and do use, okay, it's still that. And it's also invisible. We set our current weapon to that resource. Obviously, I want to do this on equip actually, but although equip isn't actually what we want there, because equip needs to go into hotbar if we were going to do it that way, but we're actually going to do it a different way. Anyway, let me get back to chat so I don't miss anything. Making chest inventories. Yep. PlayerVar is the best name ever. It's perfect. Yep. Best name. Urvar, yes. PlayerVar is great. What happened to the hotbar? We decided it's not going to happen. Might start doing tutorial streams. Dude. Yes. So, Shiloh, I'm almost thinking we don't even try a hotbar, and instead, whatever your first 5 are in your inventory just are your hotbar. Let me run to the bathroom real quick. I will be back. Okay. On this, we would also need to do, I think, weapon dot. What is it again? Active weapon. Yeah, just update weapon. I think that's why it wasn't. Let me try this. Most RPGs don't have hotbars anyway. Yeah, so here's the thing. I still want a hotbar because kind of the whole idea of this game. Okay, there it is, but it's not updating the mesh on the back for some reason. Still shows the sword, but it's not updating that. But like a huge part of this game is going to be having, like, if you want 5 different weapons equipped that all have different status effects and switching between them so you can chain them together to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Do I also need to update my sword slot here? Just do this for now. But yeah, still have a hotbar with that system. Your UIs are just displaying data. Yep. So you could have a separate hotbar UI that has the same inventory attached, but only shows and gives the first 5 slots. Yep. On click for the equip drop when it closes. Yes. Battery is dying. Gotta head out. Have a good time. Hey, take it easy, bunny. Thank you for being here. I'm imagining Valheim-like inventory. I can't remember what the Valheim was like. Okay, nice. Now we have it where we can at least equip. I played Valheim way back, but we also need these to close out. Okay, so right now use works to heal us, but it obviously doesn't update the quantity. Yes, I can finally hit these guys and watch them go into the ground. Beautiful. That's half of my motivation, is being able to run around and hit these guys. So we've been in a desert without our weapons being equipable. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Casper, is just having... I'm thinking the first 5. Because... I don't know, 5 feels kind of good. Maybe 6. You could do... I mean, you could do more. 5 just kind of sounds right, so you're kind of like having to choose between what you can have easily accessible. Obviously, you can always go into your inventory and really quickly, if you want, kind of back away from a fight and drag things around if you need. But you kind of have to like ration what you want on hand. Because maybe you're fighting a boss where you really need to chain together like 4 different types of damage to get the best damage output. And so you only have 1 slot for heals, and you only have 3 heals per stack, or, you know, whatever it is. WASD right now. Controller support and all that does have to come at some point. That's how Valheim does it, the first 8. Okay. Working really good. Thank you, Dr. Ink. I got a crash getting a migraine. Been struggling with them for the past few days. Dang, dude. Well, hopefully it's not a terrible experience for you. Hope you feel better, man. Thank you once again for being here and helping me out so much, because it's sick having this actually set up. And yeah, people go follow New Jank. I know there's an ad going right now, which sucks, but go follow New Jank, because he does a lot of really sick streams. Yeah. Thank you, Shiloh. And he just said he's going to start doing potentially some tutorial streams. So, yeah, 3D racing style game with car combat, in a super sick visual style. The exact number, I'm not 100%. Been a minute since I played it myself, but that is how you do it. First row of your inventory doubled as your hotbar. Perfect. Yeah, that's what... that's a good way to handle it. Now this is item... Man, you know what? I probably... So on use pressed, usage panel, is it just this? Or do we have to do a set deferred? Okay, there we go. We may not even need an assign then, if that's the way it is, because we can just drag it in. Have a great rest of your stream. If you need anything, you know how to get in touch with me. Sounds good, man. Thank you for being here. As usual, man. I appreciate it. And we should do a call at some point, another call. Well, I'll figure something out. There's going to be something that I want to work on, and we could do like a little pair programming or something. Could even be building something new. I don't know, but it would be fun. But feel better, man. Hope you're doing okay, and yeah, get some rest. JD says, take care of yourself. New Jank, yep. Okay. So now... So yeah, I think what I'll want is like... Well, we need to get drag and drop as well going. And also we need drop, so... On use pressed, we can also do something like... do we want to do that logic there? Probably not. Maybe we do a signal. I guess I could look at what NewJank has. Item slot UI. Clicked. So he's doing on clicked, which I would do on the specific buttons. I would be doing something. So maybe I could do a... Now that I'm out of an ad, here's the reason why I was asking about WASD. I was just wondering if you were doing to implement abilities or not. Maybe. I don't know yet. I have no idea. But maybe. If I did, it would be like maybe 2 of them. 2 that are active, or maybe 3, like Q, E, and R. Yeah, we could do drag drop first. I do want to see if I can update quantities and stuff on like maybe, yeah, should I do drag drop or should I do like use and drop item? Let's just do drag drop first. I want to restart my building survival game based on Rust Valheim. That sounds fun. Use drop first. Oh, commit before drag and drop. Yeah. Drag drop either or click pick up, click to drop. Yeah. So for drag and drop, I'm thinking, yeah, I guess, because that's probably going to be a big thing. Whereas use and drop, not quite as much. So, because drag and drop, that would be like, okay, I have to pull these things around. I could also do something eventually where it's like you drag off of the inventory and you can drop, but that's not necessary. But for something like this, drop or use. Equip may not be there anymore, but we'll just leave it for now. So let's just do use and equip. So on drop, if we're doing drop, then that means we need to instance our inventory item. And if we wanted, we could do like full stacks now, where it's like one item drops, but it has a quantity of 3. If we wanted. Not much of a fan of tooltip buttons unless using mobile. Do you mean like just double clicking on something for something to happen, or what do you mean? Using sprites for the base node of the slot item, or are you using UI controls? So we're doing UI controls. Add a trash slot. True. Instant, yeah, double click. Yeah, and we can add those in for sure. But right now, let's just do this. So on drop, I think we're grabbing item refers to the slot, right? Yes. That not work? Okay, so on drop pressed. We already have, so set item slot there. So now we can do we can create a new item. We also have things like set slot index, which is not needed. So on drop, we need to do item dot quantity. We could probably just do this. I know it's not great, but and then what were we doing before? Goodness sakes. Item, inventory item. Nope. Global? Set item data. Item instance set item data. Okay. Where is our we have a just drop position. Am I missing a function here? Or no, we just do adjust drop position. Okay, so I could do scene path instantiates it, set item data, and in set item data, we're doing nope, that's set item slot. It's in here, set item data, resource equals data, which that's fine. We could do even something like quantity equals count if we want. Why am I just all over the place? Okay. No, wait. What am I thinking here? Three overrides get drag data, can drop data, and drop data. Hey, hydration. Don't worry, I catch up. Let me just do this and see what breaks. Wait, where's the drop position? think we just pass in a vector. Yeah. Need the item data and the drop position. Let me just see what happens, if this even works. Okay, set item data. Expected to. Is that because we changed... Yeah, because we don't need this. At least not right now. We could just have it be 1. Already have a on hover effect. Yep. Is this adding a sword anywhere? I'm not seeing any. So what else needs to be attached? We have inventory item. Sets this resource. Item instance dot set item data with that. Do an item dot resource, an offset of this, whatever that is. Maybe you need player position, then instantiate the item at the player position. It should be doing that. Drop item does... What does it do? So it loads the scene. Item data.scene path. Our item resource should have that. Yep. Right there. It says var item instance is equal to that instantiated. Then we set the item data, so we set the resource. We adjust the drop position. Maybe it is adding it. We're just not setting the mesh and stuff. Oops. Oh. Item. Let's do this. Main mesh equals mesh. Sprite equals resource dot texture. Actually, we don't need that. Could just be this. Maybe that's just not getting updated. Okay. Mesh on base nil. So because it's not... So it should be setting that there once it gets added. We're setting the resource first. Why is that not? So we're setting the item data resource, and then on ready, it should set it to that. So maybe it's our drop. Mesh should always be a child of the item. Yeah, so there's a mesh attached to the item, and then there's a mesh assigned to the resource. And so if we change the resource, then on ready, it should change the mesh assigned to the item scene to be that of the resource mesh. Unless it's adding, oh, you know what? Yeah. So you were saying player var. I mean, setting it to the players. Maybe before I was doing this. Because I just threw a vector in there, assuming it would be relative. But it could just be that it was putting them at the world origin or close enough to it. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Okay. It was what you thought. Whoops. Then I picked it back up. What just happened there? So I dropped it and then I picked it back up. There's some breaking happening. Oh, okay. Oh, but if I do multiple, maybe. Yeah, then it breaks. Resource on base nil. Because that doesn't have an actual item slot. Or a resource assigned to it. So what we need to do is maybe call that maybe we do the stack changed one. Because then no matter what, it will... I need to pass in the index there. Out for the night. Take care. All right, take it easy, JD. Good to see you. Hope you have a good one, man. Oh, man. My body is in pain. Okay. Inventory slot, right?
I don't know. I just got here.
Hey, Quellis, thank you for the follow. So does inventory slot have its index? How much water have you drank? Quite a bit. I've been having some health problems. Just annoying stuff. It's kind of par for the course at this point. Okay. How do I get this thing's index within the inventory? If I'm pressing drop here, I guess if I'm doing item dot quantity, that didn't do anything, right? Unless... Or do I do global... like that or something? Is that actually going to work, though? Or is that just going to break? Supposed to be sleeping. Pretend I'm not there. Not here. Okay. Breaks. Okay. So that's a resource. So item is just the resource, I think. No, it's this item slot resource. Blorf TV, what is up? How am I supposed to find based off of this? Can I find this slot within the inventory UI and then... Maybe I shouldn't even be trying to do this stuff yet. Because each item slot does not have an index, right? Okay, I guess we could just do set stack count. On the item slot that is within this. So item dot set stack count, and then that should run it for us, actually, I think. Can I just do that? Let's look at item slot again. Takes in an integer. Oh, does this just... set the stack count totally? So maybe I would have to do like How's the 3D models progress? Not too bad. I haven't really done any 3D in a little while. It's all been programming. Okay, in inventory slot, this is now on base nil. Okay. Maybe it's because I'm setting it to -1. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. This might be something we have to pick up later. Because I'm clearly just kind of fumbling in the dark. Plus, I'm starting to get a lot of pain, so I might just have to call it and then try to do a decent stream tomorrow. I know I do have... I'm watching a movie tomorrow night, so I might try to do an earlier stream. and then maybe a late stream. Who knows? We'll figure it out, but we'll get something done. And yeah, I'll have to figure out what exactly I'm doing, because I may just have to look through New Jank stuff again. Decrease slot count. Okay, it could just be that. Did I have decreased stack count before? Okay, I don't. This is quantity. Oh, true. Can I not do item slot? Okay. Okay, it's still not doing autocomplete. Let's try this and see if it breaks anything. Yep. Did I use the wrong Yes, I did. Okay. Nice. Pick it back up. We're back at 3. Perfect. Thank you for that. I would have definitely been pick them up. Here, let's do a drop. Let's pick up 1. Stop. 2. Okay, nice. 3, 2. Okay, that breaks it. So I think it's because we're setting it null. We're doing set item slot. Why is this setting item slot? I feel like this should be setting empty, right? 5 loud girls here. Okay. No worries. Okay. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. We continue. We continue again. Why am I... Oh, I was stuck moving for a bit. Drop. Why are we setting item slot? On inventory item. Oh, we're doing set item slot null. Ah. Can I just do this? Set empty does that. Then we can set item to null there. Let's try it. Nice. Okay. It's starting to come together. This is really annoying how it doesn't just doesn't go away, but use apply item effect on used pressed. Okay. We can also do this. Make sure that doesn't stay up there. So I'm going to check if item is not null. But in case this doesn't work, then, you know. It's coming together. Nice. Currently, you can't switch between weapons without going into the menu, but we will do that. Dr. Cap, night all. See you next time. Hey, peace out, Dr. Cap. Good to see you, as always. Hope you have a good night. I really should go, too. I want to make sure I'm not overdoing things. But this has been massive productivity today. So I'm very happy with this. I think tomorrow... Tomorrow we could do a little bit more. We already have drop and use working. So tomorrow we do drag and drop. And then maybe the next day we do some hotbar stuff, but, you know, within the same inventory. Yay for productivity, yes. Very nice. This is massive. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy to be able to do this with y'all because it is very fun. No go, your streams always put me in a good flow state for some reason. Sorry, man. I could feel I'm pretty beat down right now. I would normally go pretty far. But I'm trying to stay a little bit more conscious about not overdoing it. But I feel you, man. I'm going to see if I can find someone to raid. Made progress. RCB says, I also got progress tonight. A little tiny bit. Nice. Hey, forward movement is good. Always. "12 Feet Up" is on. I haven't rated him in a while, so we are going to do that. Is it? Yes. Okay. And like I said, I should be on tomorrow either for an early stream, a late stream, or both. I don't know. But I'm going to start this raid and let you guys jump in. Thank you to you all for being here. Elemental and Jared in the YouTube chat. Shiloh, RCB, Dr. Cap, RJL, Dr. Ink, New Jank, as always, Saw, Quellis. Who else was in here? Casper. JD does Dev, as well as Bunny, and some more people I know. But thank you all for being here, as always. Really appreciate you. It's been a ton of fun, especially over the past month. Just building this game out has been a ton of fun, even with all the ups and downs of this latest inventory debacle. we have now come into the clear, and I feel like we can actually make some good progress on the day-to-day. Hey, Wardstone, too. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a good one, man. But yeah, we will see you all later. Peace out. I'm going to send you over now, and have a good one.